Our children are really, really the best kids I've ever met, no matter where I've been in this world. We have a completely mixed community now.
Uniondale is a place where people feel they can be comfortable, that they will be accepted.
WAC has really been the glue that's cemented a really strong sense of community. It was the first time that I saw a number of the issues that I have really being discussed amongst residents who shared those same concerns. We define ourselves as a global village, and it's really true. You look at the different restaurants and people who are showing up to guac and the different expressions they use and dress, and it's so enriching to be part of such a diverse community.
We moved to Uniondale because we had a growing family and we wanted them to live in the country. And we came out here, it was country. There were houses scattered around, mostly farms, a very bucolic, beautiful area.
We wanted to live in a diverse community. We wanted to kind of have our children grow up in a world like the world they would be living in later on. When our children were still going to Turtle Hook, there was a cornfield by the farm stand, and they would grow their corn and sell it at the farm stand.
It was on Jerusalem Avenue. They sold all farm products. They had a wood-burning stove, and they cooked the chestnuts on it. We'd go in, you could smell the chestnuts. It was great. And that's one of the counters where they had the fresh vegetables on. People came in and you know, they pick out their vegetables and pay at the register.
Pay at the register, my foot.
Did it have a box?
Money in the cigar box.
A cigar box. You didn't have a register, right?
They were very, very loving, and the people that ran this place, the Gaynor family, they were really, really nice.
The cornfield has been made into townhouses.
The town moved the farm stand here, and we wanted to make it into a children's farm museum. The town paid to move that property, to move it here, and then we got a builder, Avalon Bay, to restore it for us the way it is now.
They convinced Avalon Bay to preserve the farm stand. They convinced the town to accept it on its property and provide for its protection. And the plan is to be able to bring young people there, have pictures and so on. So it's a work in progress.
It's very difficult to get people to even understand what we want to do. You've got an empty room. That's as far as they know. I think a children's farm museum is really very important. The community is still very excited about it, and they can't wait for it to open. We can't wait for it to open either.
In terms of business, there hasn't been too much change, except along Jerusalem Avenue, where they put in a couple of strip malls. And there was a movie theater where Grace Cathedral is now, and that used to show the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The Holly Patterson area used to be the poor farm.
When we bought our home, my father said to him, "How lucky you are. One step away, she'll put you there."
East Garden City is the battle to keep Uniondale from being carved up. Some powerful political and property interests want to create a new entity out of part of Uniondale. They want to call Northern Uniondale East Garden City. The community particularly became mobilized on this when we saw signs saying Town of Hempstead, East Garden City.
We are afraid that eventually they'll change that area, which is Uniondale, calling East Garden City, and give it an official title and take our school tax money that we're getting from those businesses in that area.
RXR Plaza, the Coliseum, Museum Row, Nassau Community College, parts of Hofstra. Major economic drivers.
We know there is a cachet toward the name of Garden City, and there are many commercial entities which want to be associated with that. I think it's the Uniondale part, the union. There are people who feel that unions are, workers and garden as opposed to workers. But I feel that this is definitely a wonderful community with wonderful people, and I can't understand why more people don't get to see that.
In 2009, 2010, we noticed a rash of for sale signs and houses being boarded up. Entire families just up and overnight leaving. And we were wondering, we started to share that information with each other and started to realize that it was a real problem.
I feel so badly for people who put so much into the effort of buying a home and then have to lose it.
Uniondale has to compete with Roosevelt, East Meadow, a variety of different hamlets and incorporated villages within the town of Hempstead to have influence. It's more difficult to get a voice if you're an unincorporated hamlet than if you're an incorporated village. Uniondale is an unincorporated hamlet. For instance, Uniondale had wonderful youth programming. Youth were very much engaged and empowered, but with cuts to federal, state, and local funding to youth programs, these youth programs shut down.
We don't have a lot of rich people in Uniondale. We don't have people with deep pockets. When the funding ends, then also the program has to end.
Since GWAC has started, we're more effective in dealing with shared problems and achieving shared aspirations if we work together on a regular basis. And we're able to get policymakers to pay attention.
Imaginémonos en el Evangelio que nuestro Señor estaba entrando por Hempstead, por Uniondale, a una de sus calles donde ustedes viven, donde nosotros vivimos, ¿no es cierto? Y se encontrara con ciertas personas como, ¿cómo se llama la persona que se encontró allá en Jericó?
Uniondale Community Council was started in 1977. We present community issues as well as the youth project. GWAC was started as a result of one of our summits.
GWAC is a coalition of 25 community organizations based in Uniondale, and it's a venue and an opportunity for us to form a common agenda to address shared problems and to achieve shared aspirations.
GWAC's purpose is to come together with one common goal for the betterment of Uniondale and to speak with one voice.
The community members in attendance identified key priorities. Number one, to strengthen the communications and organizational infrastructure of the community. Two, to increase Uniondale's voice in Town of Hempstead and Nassau County decisions that directly affect residents and locally owned businesses. 3, to engage and empower the youth in our community. And 4, to address housing issues such as students in absentee landlord houses in the area and the foreclosure crisis.
We have come up with position papers so that we're able to always start with that when we speak to the county, when we speak to the town, when we speak to developers. We know what we've agreed on and what are the important points that we want to bring out.
As president of Musson Gardens and member of GWAC, I've learned that one lone voice is really not enough. We want the same services and the same quality of life as our surrounding communities in Nassau County, and that's what we're fighting for, that's what we're united for, and that's what we will continue to fight for.
Uniondale is my home. I've opened myself to recognizing the strengths of others because they're so abundantly apparent in working with this coalition.
I want the young people of our communities that work hard, obtain an education, and prove themselves exemplary to be afforded the same opportunities as every other young adult in Nassau County.
We'll always be evolving. The constant will be GWAC. GWAC will be there as the community grows and realizes its potential and its vision.